Game 2 from San Francisco. Another clear, cool night by McCovey Cove. And tonight the D-backs look to even this series in a game apiece. A matchup of lefties Patrick Corbin facing Madison Bumgarner. D-backs Giants on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from AT&T Park. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Renly along the way. An exciting atmosphere here tonight. The D-backs are the opponents for Madison Bumgarner's 2018 season debut. Bobby's back from injury.
Unfortunately, he's back from injury.
Yeah.
We'll see what Madison Bumgarner has on the mound tonight, but in his 2 rehab starts, he was really good. One of those was in San Jose, one in AAA Sacramento. A combined 8 1/3, gave up only 2 hits and 1 run. Struck out 15, walked 1. The 1 run, a home run by Visalia's Pavin Smith.
The #1 draft pick by the D-backs last year. So it's Bumgarner versus Corbin. Torey Lovullo with his offensive lineup loaded up with right-hand hitters against the lefty Mad Bum.
Well, Mad Bum's career numbers would tell you should load up with right-handers. Righties hit 40 points higher against him in his career. They hit 40 points higher than lefties last season. Only one left-handed bat in the lineup, David Peralta, along with the switch hitter Ketel Marte.
Yeah, we'll see Christopher Negron, Chris Owings, Devin Marrero all in there tonight. Corbin and Mad Bum, the D-backs, and the Giants on Fox Sports Arizona.
D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By BJ's Restaurant and Brewhouse. Visit bjsrestaurants.com to find a location near you. By APS. APS works 24/7 to keep you plugged in, powered up, and connected. And by your Valley Honda dealer, where you'll get more standard features for less money. D-backs home run. Score free Jumbo Jacks only at Jack in the Box. By One AZ Credit Union, let's bank together. And by Gila River Hotels and Casinos. The card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up for the card today.
Well, the Rockies are putting the pressure on. Colorado 9-3 leaders at Cincinnati in the 9th inning. D-backs will look to Patrick Corbin here in San Francisco. Coming up on Fox Sports Arizona.
Back on the field, ready to take the mound here tonight at AT&T Park. Diamondbacks and Giants, and the D-backs look to even this series at 1 game apiece. Jody Jackson here with you, and you know, Bumgarner last year 0-3 in 4 starts against the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was also on the DL last year from mid-April till mid-July, and so it's something, of course, that he doesn't like at all, missing time for this Giants team. So I had the chance to catch up with Madison yesterday and ask him about his level of excitement to get back on the mound.
It's been a minute, so I'm excited to get back out there. Excited about how our team's doing and competing against the Diamondbacks. You know, they've obviously been playing very well this season. So.
What's the biggest challenge for you coming off the DL? I mean, what is it? Just getting your pace back? Is it just getting out there and facing those hitters?
You know, most everybody else has been playing for 2 months now or a little more. So, you know, everybody's kind of getting into that mid-season form. So I gotta be sharp. You know, that's it. You know, I don't have the first part of the season to try to sharpen that edge. I gotta go out there and have it immediately. You know, if I want to help us win, and that's what I want to do.
And the D-backs looking forward to the challenge. I mentioned his record of 0-3 last year against the D-backs. Well, all tough losses. The final score in those games, 2-1, 2-1, and 2-0. So no pressure, Patrick Corbin, but there's no question they've done a good job pitching when Madison Bumgarner is on the mound. Another matchup to watch, by the way, Paul Goldschmidt batting .318 in his career against Mad Bum. Stay with us. First pitch is coming your way next from San Francisco.
Game 2 of this 3-game set, the D-backs and the San Francisco Giants. Diamondbacks for the moment holding a 1-game edge over Colorado for the National League West lead. Here's their starting lineup against Mad Bum. It's brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
We talked about the right-handed heavy lineup in the open of the show. It'll be started with Nick Ahmed playing shortstop tonight. David Peralta batting second. Out in left field, Paul Goldschmidt at first base. John Ryan Murphy behind the plate. Ketel Marte at second base. Chris Owings in center field tonight with Devin Marrero at third. Christopher Negron in right, and lefty Patrick Corbin on the mound.
And this has been the headline here in San Francisco all day today. Your Ram truck starting pitcher for the Giants is the left-hander Madison Bumgarner, who makes his season debut after he fractured the pinky finger on his pitching hand back in spring training.
One of the great competitors in the game. Features a four-seam fastball that has a little tailing action away from a right-handed hitter, a cut fastball that works into a righty, big curveball and a straight changeup.
E.D. Marshall Jewelers gives us a look around the diamond at the Giants defense tonight.
Mac Williamson getting the start in left field tonight. Gorky Hernandez out in center. Andrew McCutchen in right field. It'll be Evan Longoria at third base. Brandon Crawford at short. Joe Panik at second base with Pablo Sandoval down at first. Buster Posey doing the catching, and left-hander Madison Bumgarner on the mound.
Our plate umpire tonight is Tony Randazzo, calling the balls and strikes. The crew chief Bill Welke is our first base ump. Brian Knights at second, and Lance Barrett is at third. Time now, Bob, for your Valley Honda dealers. Key to the game.
Well, the long and short of it against Madison Bumgarner. And by that I mean we want to work some long at-bats early in the game. Madison Bumgarner wasn't really extended very far in his rehab outings in the minor league, so run up a pitch count early and hopefully his night will be short.
D-backs a game ahead of Colorado atop the division, but the Rockies right now beating up on the Reds in Cincinnati. Colorado has home runs from Chris Iannetta and Carlos Gonzalez, so it looks like the Rockies are on their way to a win at Great American Ballpark. D-backs trying to answer that here tonight against the Giants at AT&T Park on a really nice Tuesday night here.
Beautiful night here at the ballpark. It always gets a little chilly in San Francisco for the night games, especially once the sun goes down, but for this time of year, we will definitely take this right here.
Giants sitting at 500 for the year. They've won 5 in a row. Looking to get over 500 for the first time since May 15th. Nick Ahmed in the leadoff spot again tonight. 211 and 8 home runs, and we're set to go. Corbin and Bumgarner, the D-backs, and the Giants.
Everybody's just waiting to get the okay to start this ball game. Madison Bumgarner got out to the mound, threw his warm-up pitches, and he was ready to go about 5 minutes early.
All right, then.
All right, then.
He did not go, says Bill Welke at first. 1-0 on Nick. Nick making his second straight start from the leadoff spot. He doubled last night. He's it safely in 3 straight games. Madison Bumgarner's injury was his final spring training start, March 23rd. Cactus League game against the Royals in Scottsdale. Got hit by a line drive and fractured the pinky finger on his left hand. Off the bat of the Royals, Whit Merrifield had 3 pins inserted into his pitching hand the next day. And so tonight makes his first start this year. Breaking ball caught the corner away, and it's 2-2 on Ahmed. The hand fracture in March, just the second ever trip to the disabled list for Madison Bumgarner. The first came last year. You'll recall that left shoulder injury and his now infamous dirt bike accident during an off day in Denver. That's fouled away.
We have an off day in Denver coming up.
Stay off the dirt bike.
Stay off the dirt bikes.
Good tip. Ahmed Peralta Goldie here in the D-backs first. Good to see we're able to bring the Moss Cam with us on the road here in San Francisco. Good look from behind the plate. Ahmed hits one in the air along the left field line. Trying to get out of play near the bullpen, and nobody can quite get there. Crawford comes up just shy.
And it's understandable that Mac Williamson came up a little bit shy on that ball. He hit that bullpen mound down the left field line, and it propelled him right into the side wall. Spent some time on the disabled list with concussion-like symptoms. And you know Brandon Crawford and Evan Longoria know they're getting close to the mound out there. Has to be in the back of your mind as a defender when you go after a ball in that area.
Yeah, there's Williamson. He missed a month with that concussion right after he got called up from the minors. But he's back out there tonight starting in left field. Good at bat here by Nick Ahmed. This is exactly what you were talking about a moment ago, Bob. Long extended innings for Mad Bum.
Make him work, get up to 20, 25 pitches in an inning, and might chase him out of there a lot earlier than the Giants hoped for.
He threw a total of 74 pitches in his last rehab start. That was Thursday for Class A San Jose against Visalia. Had 7 strikeouts in 4 2/3. This is rolled in the hole. Longoria in front of Crawford, and they retire Ahmed to lead it off. David Peralta, 263 and 10 home runs. First pitch swinging right at Joe Panik at second. That's a quick out for Mad Bum. 2 down.
Now Nick saw 8 pitches in his at bat. David swung at the first delivery he saw from Madison Bumgarner. Now he has a chance to escape this inning with a reasonable pitch count.
Paul Goldschmidt, 210, 8 homers. Panik will slide over and play just on the shortstop side of second base. Right hand side of the infield pretty much wide open for Goldie. That's a fastball in there for a strike.
Yeah, granted, it's still very early in the game, but the velocities seem to be what we're used to seeing from Madison Bumgarner. The 4-seam fastball at 91, 92, the cutter in the high 80s.
Goldie dunks one into left field. He came in, tried to go away. It's a 2-out single. He's always had some measure of success against Mad Bum. Brings up John Ryan Murphy back behind the plate in cleanup spot for the second night in a row. John Ryan batting .264 with 8 homers. Saw you earlier today chatting with Terry Kennedy about John Ryan Murphy. You have some catchers, talking catchers.
Yeah, Terry Kennedy doing some scouting now, and he's seen a lot of John Ryan Murphy from his time with the Yankees and the Minnesota Twins, and he just wanted to know what is he doing differently this year. They're getting a little more lift on that swing, trying to get the ball in the air a little bit more often. Very aggressive, only 3 walks this season. As a matter of fact, his on-base percentage going into play tonight was .289. But his slugging percentage is nearly .600.
Yeah, John Ryan last 9 games, 5 home runs and 10 RBIs. He's ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Goldie at first, 2 outs.
Yeah, scouts hate it when they miss on a guy. You know, Terry said, I saw this guy quite a bit in the American League. I saw him when he was in the minor leagues, and be quite honest, I never thought he was going to be much of a hitter, but what's he doing differently? I said, well, you'll see. Getting that ball in the air a lot more often and getting it on the barrel a lot more often.
He's got himself ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. That missed on the back foot. Now it's 3-1 with Ketel Marte red hot right now on deck.
Bumgarner keeping the ball down. It's full 3-2.
Went to that cutter on the 3-1 pitch, had just enough movement and just enough off his fastball to get John Ryan out in front.
Crowd comes to life here at San Francisco.
That's another cutter.
Well, Tapper, Longoria has to charge. Bare hand play. And a nice stretch at first by the Panda. They just do get Murphy. Patrick Corbin coming up from AT&T Park. Max tonight is the left-hander Patrick Corbin. Patrick, a loss in his previous start last week against the Reds at Chase Field.
Patrick has done pretty good against the Giants over the course of his career. He really likes pitching in this ballpark. Big gaps, big alley, especially in right center field. A lot of room to bail out in this ballpark.
Valley Chevy Dealers has the Giants lineup tonight.
Gorkis Hernandez will lead it off out in center field. Buster Posey batting second and doing the catching. Andrew McCutchen will be out in right field with Evan Longoria at third. Mac Williamson in left field. Brandon Crawford at shortstop. Pablo Sandoval down at first base. Joe Panik slides all the way down to the 8th spot against the lefty tonight. And Madison Bumgarner, the lefty, on the mound.
Devin Marrero a step in on the grass at third for Gorkis Hernandez. And Devin goes top shelf and makes a tremendous play. He was in just a step or two, and that almost got out over his head there. What a play.
Big hop. Oh, yeah, that possibly extra bases if he doesn't make that play. It might sneak down that left field line, but Devin Marrero showing some ups right there.
He has looked really good defensively down there all year long. One pitch, one out for Corbin. Here's Buster Posey. Fastball's a strike, 0-1. Posey 306, 4 homers. He has homered twice in his last 5 games. One more time for Marrero in front of Ahmed. E.D. Marshall Jewelers has a look around the diamond at the D-backs defense tonight.
Well, we know Devin Marrero's at third base. Let's check the outfield. David Peralta in left. Chris Owings in center field tonight with Christopher Negron over in right field. Marrero at third. Nick Ahmed and Ketel Marte will make up the double play combo up the middle with Paul Goldschmidt at first. John Ryan Murphy doing the catching for lefty Patrick Corbin. 2 outs on 3 pitches for Patrick. Andrew McCutchen, 246 and 5 home runs. He homered here last night. It was McCutchen and Crawford that got things started in the 4th against Zach Godley with back-to-back homers. Giants on their way to a 7-run inning. McCutchen has homered in each of his last 2 games. He homered here Sunday against the Phillies.
D-backs with 3 infielders on the third base side. Slider bounces up there, and it's 1-2.
McCutchen homered in the 4th inning last night, a solo shot. He also struck out 3 times, and the first strikeout against Zach Godley was very ugly.
Here's a look at the D-backs defense.
Took a half swing and then a check swing. He just didn't seem like he was seeing the ball real well, but in the 4th inning he saw it too good.
McCutchen is not swinging as often with the Giants nearly as much as he has in the past in Pittsburgh. He's been much more selective this year, and as a result, sometimes he gets caught looking at some fastballs. But when he does swing, he's making much more consistent hard contact, and we certainly saw that last night.
McCutchen has had the misfortune of playing in 2 ballparks that aren't particularly friendly to right-handed pull hitters. PNC Park in Pittsburgh with the short porch in right field and the ginormous gap in left center, and here at AT&T Park, big gaps, especially in right center, the short porch once again in right field.
Well, he's worked it full against Corbin, 3-2. Longoria on deck. 8th pitch of the at-bat right here. Popped up way up in the air near the D-back dugout, and that one gets in the seats.
Everybody chase everything in this ballpark. That swirling wind, you're never quite sure what direction the ball is going to go once it gets up in the air.
And now the wind is actually blowing in from right center field, sort of toward the left field foul pole. Not nearly as breezy as it was last night. Popped up first base side. Goldie right on the line, and he's got it in fair territory. A 1-2-3 first for Patrick Corbin. Patrick Corbin, no score after 1.
A lot of this in the pregame show as far as the preparation for Madison Bumgarner. Not having seen him yet this season, I talked to hitting coach Dave Maggott, and he said, of course, with everything they have today, all the resources, they had the video, those rehab starts, but careful not to look too much at those. He threw a lot of change-ups. They felt he was obviously working on a few things, so they really looked at a lot of the starts from last year, especially at the end of the year. And then in facing a lefty in general, addition to the coaching staff in Jorge Cortez, as that ball is hit deep. Steve?
Ketel Marte at it again. Guess what, Jody? Another extra base hit for Ketel Marte. He is unbelievable. It's a leadoff double in the second.
couple of mechanical changes at the plate, and Ketel Marte has just taken off his 10th double of the season. A rocket line drive down in that left field corner, just out of the reach of Mac Williamson. Stay hot.
If you count tonight, that's 8 games for Ketel Marte. 5 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. Chris Owings now. Got to take advantage.
Those are player of the week numbers right there.
I like where you're going with that. CO in center field tonight.
Move him, get him over somehow, showing bunt on the first pitch.
Owings 185. He's got 3 homers. Bumgarner coming off a 17-pitch first inning, 12 strikes.
Boy, really important that Ketel Marte, the base runner at second, know where the Giants defenders are.
That's a fair ball down the left field line. Marte will come in and score. Owings has a double, and it's 1-0 D-backs. Back-to-back D-back doubles open up the second.
Boy, you love that. Trade places. Got a runner at second, a batter at the plate, just trade places. CO takes that cutter down and in, puts it right down the third baseline for an RBI double. Keep the line moving. Yeah, I said that about Marte, the base runner at second in that situation, because Pablo Sandoval is drawn in on the grass to protect against a bunt. If you happen to swing the bat and hit the ball that direction to Sandoval, it's going to be tough to advance second to third. Got to know where the defenders are at all times.
Another right-hand bat in there tonight. Devin Marrero at third. Already made a couple of nice plays defensively. Marte got it started. Another extra base hit. Then it's 1-0 D-backs. Devin hit into a double play as a pinch hitter to end last night's game. He's batting 177 on the year. This has a chance to stay fair for Sandoval, backing up near the bullpen. And look at Chris Owings, hustles into third, and he's in there. That was going to be an awkward throw for Sandoval near that D-back bullpen.
That's really a good read by Chris Owings. You had Sandoval backing up as he caught that ball. It was going to be hard to get much on the throw. And it looked like CO slid to the outfield side of the bag there. Longoria goes back to sweep the tag and caught him in the face, actually, after his hand was on the bag.
So they're able to advance Owings to third, 1 out. And here's Christopher Negron in right field tonight. Infield comes in for the Giants. Chris flied out as a pinch hitter last night in his first at bat of the year. Recalled for the minor leagues yesterday. Bumgarner gets the call outside, 0-1. Negron hitting just under 260 at Reno with 3 homers. But he was red hot when he got the recall. 14 games prior to getting called up, he'd hit nearly 440. And they wanted another right-hand bat for this road trip, trying to get Dyson some off days. Peralta some off days. You got a series in Colorado coming up over the weekend. Lead on that one, 1-2. D-back did not have to clear a 40-man roster spot to bring Christopher back up here. That roster spot had been open following Chris Medlin's decision to retire. That was back on May 24th, so it was easy to bring Chris up here. Fastball sailed on Bumgarner, and it's 2-2. Pitcher Patrick Corbin on deck. Owings at third, one out, and a run is in. This might be enough to get him home. It goes by Longoria and Crawford. 2-0 D-backs. They split the difference on the left side of the Giant infield.
That looked a little bit like the one we saw Ketel Marte and Nick Ahmed back home against the Reds. I got it, you take it. I think Longoria was thinking it's a better throw for Brandon Crawford home coming from the shortstop position, but Crawford thought Longoria was going to make the play and go across the diamond. It sneaks through into left field for an RBI base hit.
Here's Patrick Corbin now. Still only one out. Patrick squares to bunt, pulls back and takes ball one. Corbin gets the bunt down. Bumgarner has one play. And they move Negron along.
Yeah, that's one thing in this ball game. You've got two pitchers that are very adept at handling the bat, whether it's putting down a bunt or swinging away. Madison Bumgarner hit 3 home runs last season, including 2 against the D-backs on opening day.
Ouch. Well, just like last night, the D-backs have the 2-0 lead. Nick Ahmed can add to it here. He grounded out to lead off the ball game. Longoria knocks it down at third. And that's the end of the inning. D-backs get 2 against Nadbum and grab the early lead. Good start for the D-backs. They lead at 2-0 in San Francisco. The 2018 FIFA World Cup is coming to Fox at FS1. Every match live. Over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event is 9 days away on Fox and FS1. Patrick Corbin has a 2-0 lead coming off a 12-pitch 1-2-3 first, and Evan Longoria leads off the Giants second. Longo 250, 10 home runs. 0 for 4 last night.
We're in the bottom of the second inning, and the combined third baseman in this game have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 assists at first base, and then that other misplay that went between Longoria and Brandon Crawford. A lot of balls hit to the left side with the 2 lefties on the mound tonight.
Sensing a trend here. D-backs have 3 infielders on the left side right now. overshifted against the right-hand batter.
You know, as a manager or a defensive coach on the bench, you know that going in. You got a left-hander, his breaking ball's coming into the right-handed hitter. Probably going to be a lot of ground balls hit to the left side of the field.
Like that one.
Like that one.
Marte calls off Ahmed. 4 up, 4 down for Corbin. Big Mac Williamson. .260 batting average, 3 home runs. Williamson in there tonight in left field. Just 50 at bats for the Giants this year, despite a big spring. He began the year in the minors. Then, as we mentioned earlier, suffered a concussion in April after he was recalled from AAA Sacramento and missed a month. Williamson had a huge spring, but they wanted to give Hunter Pence the benefit of the doubt, so Pence got the outfield spot. Williamson went to AAA. He hit 3 home runs in his first 5 games once he rejoined the Giants, but then got hurt.
Had 8 homers in 16 games in AAA. That injury couldn't have come at a worse time. Giants were looking for a jump start offensively. Mac Williamson was lighting it up in the Coast League, lighting it up when he first got called up here, and then crashed into the wall out there in left field and missed a month.
And had Jared Parker in the mix as well, but Parker was out of options, so Williamson had to go down. He had all that roster math working against him. And Corbin gets a swing and a miss, his first strikeout.
Hey fans, the day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
It is impossible to get any hotter than Brandon Crawford is right now. He is killing the ball. 320 and 7 homers. He batted leadoff, or pardon me, cleanup last night. Drops to 6th against the lefty here tonight. He doubled, homered, and walked in the series opener. Fastball fouled away. Crawford, since May 1st, is hitting .422. And over that stretch, no player in the major leagues has more base hits than Brandon Crawford. Ahmed has it at shortstop. That's 4 ground ball outs for Patrick Corbin with a 2-0 lead.
Brought to you by Geico. Casey Candaele made his major league debut pinch hitting for the Expos in a 7-3 loss to the Phillies at Olympic Stadium, but that's not the whole story.
I would hope not.
His mother, Helen Callahan, was a left-handed center fielder in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, so that made Casey and his mother the only mother-son combo to ever play professional baseball.
I like what you did there.
Yeah.
A nice story. David Peralta leads off the third against Madison Bumgarner.
And if you don't know Casey Candaele, you're not familiar with him, he's a guy that would come out of the dugout before the game started, before they played the anthem, and roll in the dirt in front of the dugout. He wanted his uniform dirty every day, whether he played or not. So he'd slide headfirst on the warning track before they played the national anthem every night, just so his uniform was guaranteed to be dirty.
And of course that at-bat took place, as you mentioned, at Olympic Stadium. And I believe there's another Canadian stadium theme to today.
Good call. And I was there for this one. Back in 1989, Sky Dome opened mid-season. The Blue Jays moved from Exhibition Stadium to Sky Dome on this day back in 1989.
Of course, now it's the Rogers Center, CENTRE. But it's odd to figure that it's easy to forget, in fact, that they opened that stadium, as you said, kind of in the middle of the year.
Talk about going from the outhouse to the penthouse. Exhibition Stadium was not an ideal baseball venue.
What are you
Just put it
saying?
that way. It was a dump.
The Toronto Argonauts never complained. I can't believe it's a travesty that your number's not retired at now the Rogers Center.
Next time we go back to Toronto for interleague, we'll bring it up again.
It is even to this day still a really gorgeous facility. David Peralta knocks that one into right field, a leadoff single. That's 5 hits for the D-backs against Mad Bum. What was the worst thing about old Exhibition Stadium?
Well, it was cold, for one thing.
Outdoors, Toronto.
Bad AstroTurf. And I've talked about it before. The football field ran, if you can imagine, from the third base foul line out to right field.
Yeah.
So to crown it for football, it was high in the middle of the football field, and then it fell off on both sides. So if you hit a ground ball through the hole on the right side, it would start toward right field, catch that hump, and end up in foul territory as it rolled out to right field.
It's like you're trying to sink a putt.
Oh, it was brutal. You had to, yeah, it was tough to play outfield in that ballpark.
Got to play the break. Stan the caddy get a read on that one. There's a strike, 1-1 on Goldie, who singled his first time. Then you move to the then Sky Dome, and that must have been like going to the Taj Mahal.
It was. I mean, every amenity you could possibly imagine. It's been a while now, 1989, but at the time it was absolutely state-of-the-art, retractable roof, everything you could want in a ballpark.
We were there a couple of years ago. It was beautiful weather. We went midsummer. It is spectacular.
Right in the middle of downtown Toronto, lots to do before and after ball games. The fans hang around that area. It was.
Yeah, you got the lake right there too.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice. That's a good road trip for D-backs fans. If you are one of those folks who likes to go to different stadiums, you got to get to Toronto. Peralta breaks for second. Goldie knocks it into left field. David will head for third. Well, the D-backs, Bob, are all over Mad Bum here in his 2018 debut. Goldie 2 for 2.
Keep adding on. You don't know how long Mad Bum's going to be in this ball game. Another ball hit to the left side. David Peralta on the move, easily able to go first and third on that base hit out to left field.
Good start to the third. Here's John Ryan Murphy, who grounded out his first time up tonight. Murphy hits it just foul. Oh, he just missed extra bases. Goldie head down and almost made it to third base that time.
You love that as a base runner. Don't assume anything. He heard that ball off the bat. It was struck crisply, very close to that third baseline. Goldie just put his head down and took off.
He's off the breaking ball down low. It's 1-1. This should be a pretty good matchup for John Ryan. He's been crushing lefties all year long, better than .330 versus left-handers with 5 home runs. D-backs already with 6 hits. That one's low, 2-1. There's the numbers on John Ryan, .333 versus left-handers. He's slugging almost .770 against them. He's ahead, 2 balls and a strike. That's off the plate, but Tony Randazzo gives it to Bumgarner, and he's back even 2-2. Keep an eye on Goldie at first. Adbum about to throw pitch number 45, and he's only got 6 outs. A hopper to shortstop. Crawford coming home, throws offline, but Peralta not able to avoid the tag. .62 on the putout, fielder's choice.
Boy, good instinctive play there by Brandon Crawford. Slowly hit ball. He knew he had no chance to get a double play. So instead he goes home where David Peralta has to slide wide to avoid Buster's initial tag and then can't get back to the plate quickly enough. Boy, Brandon Crawford is such a smooth defender. You forget what a cannon of an arm he has. He really wound up and let that one go.
3rd straight Gold Glove last year for Crawford. Here's Ketel Marte, who doubled and scored to lead off the second. Now with 8 consecutive extra base hits. Longoria steps on the bag for 1 and turns it. Well, Bumgarner wiggles off the hook. It stays 2-0 D-backs. By CenturyLink. These guys are all now officially D-backs. And running the D-backs draft once again this year, Derek Ladnier, who joins us on the phone as the Panda leads off the third. Derek, congratulations. Let's talk about Matt McLean and Alec Thomas, the two high schoolers you took with your first and third picks yesterday. What was it that the D-backs liked so much about those two youngsters?
Well, I mean, both of them are guys that can stay in the middle of the diamond. Both of them very athletic. Both of them plus runners. And both of them with advanced approaches as a high school hitter. You know, and you got the youthfulness of the high school player. You've got the upside of the projection. The character makeup of both of them are exceptional. And we had targeted these guys, you know, last year, not just coming into the spring, but guys that we felt like, you know, the draft is so fickle, you never know where a guy's going to end up. But both of these young men were guys that we had targeted as an organization, as guys that we felt like would be in the mix for us where we were going to be picking. And couldn't be more pleased to get both of these guys. We'll get them signed, hopefully, and get them out playing. And the sky's the limit for both of them. They've got, like I said, you know, we kind of targeted staying in the middle of the diamond this year. Last year we took some thumpers on the corners. And both of those guys fit the profile for staying in the middle of the diamond for the organization.
And Derek, sandwiched in between the two high schoolers, your second pick, Jake McCarthy, the outfielder from UVA. Tell us about him.
You know, it's kind of unique with him because, you know, we followed him for a long time. Last year we took Pavin Smith, which means we had a chance to watch him while we were watching Pavin Smith. And he's been a guy that has always performed in the ACC. He's been on the big stage. It was unfortunate for him this year because he had an injury that kind of set him back. But we felt like we were not, you know, behind in his evaluation process because we had seen so much of him. You know, he missed most of the year and was only able to play towards the end of the year. And, you know, just the fact that we've got a college player that we know is a premium defender in center field, one of the best base runner, if not the best base runner in the draft this year as far as being able to steal bases, and a guy that we feel like can hit the top of the lineup and be a stage setter for this organization for many years to come.
Now, Derek, that was yesterday. You've got the three position players, and then I saw today a whole bunch of collegiate starting pitchers. There seemed to be a run by the D-backs on college pitchers.
You know, that's by design. You know, I've always been a guy that felt like that, you know, you've got to go get the bats because they disappear quickly in the draft. And this year's depth, there were a lot of really good college pitchers in this year's draft. And, you know, it kind of fits the profile that we've done in the past. We took Taylor Clark in the third round. We took Duplantier in the third round. This year we took Jackson Goddard. And we got Ryan Weiss. And then, you know, then we were able to take Matt Mercer. All these guys have electric fastballs. They've got good secondary stuff. They're big, they're strong, durable type bodies. And, you know, it just sometimes it just lines up. The planets line up. And when these guys were still there and we're able to take them, we couldn't be more pleased to have a very balanced draft.
Derek, let me just ask you a general question. I know that as you're scouting, you're always looking for guys that can swing the bat and make something happen offensively. But with the emphasis on pitching and run prevention for the Diamondbacks now, how much attention did you guys pay not only to the bat, but to their ability to field their positions?
Well, and that's what I was talking about earlier when I was saying that we try to get guys that could stay in the middle of the diamond. I mean, if you play second base, if you play shortstop, if you play center field, you've got to be able to play defense. And we've talked about it many times in this organization about the Arizona Diamondbacks and kind of our philosophy. And, you know, you guys know it. You watch it every night when you're in our stadium. You know, you've got to be able to cover ground. That's the reality of it. The game is fast at our stadium. And with these guys that we're talking about, they're fast. All of them can run. They're all plus runners. They all are premium defenders. And that just kind of fit our mold as to what we were looking for. Like I said last year, you know, we took some guys on the corner that had power and could hit. This year, we got athletic guys we feel like can control the zone, can hit velocity, which is very important because you and I both know how much velocity there is in the game. And we felt like their approaches would be able to do that as they develop with the organization.
Well, Derek, we want to congratulate you and your entire staff. I know your group works awfully hard all season long, and this was a big couple of days for you.
Yeah, you know, I commend all the guys that we have in our scouting department. Hayes and Amiel have been great in this process, and all the scouts and cross-checkers that we've had. You know, they're diligent workers. They have a passion. They want to succeed, and they want to see us ultimately win a world championship one day.
Well, it looks like a terrific group of future D-backs. Derek Ladnier. Derek, thanks so much.
Guys, thanks for having me on. I greatly appreciate it.
You betcha. Madison Bumgarner works it full against Patrick Corbin. Marrero's at it again at third. What a play. Patrick Corbin, 3 perfect innings. Devin Marrero, tremendous. 2-0 D-backs. Picking it at third.
Unbelievable play. And watch Nick Ahmed behind him. Our Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing cool play of the game. Both guys on the left side were diving. They didn't want to let that ball get through into left field. Devin Marrero cuts it off. Nick Ahmed right there behind him to back the play up.
All behind Patrick Corbin, who's retired all 9 Giants he's faced so far. D-backs with an RBI double by Chris Owings, an RBI single by Christopher Negron lead the Giants 2-0 as we start the 4th. Tony Randazzo and Mad Bum getting things lined up here, and Owings will lead it off. And thanks again to Derek Ladnier and the entire D-backs scouting development team. They did a tremendous job here in this last draft.
All those scouts could finally get a good night's sleep.
It's been a while.
They've been working really hard leading up to the draft.
Ketel Marte led off the second with another extra base hit, a double, and then Owings followed with an RBI double of his own. First pitch, a one-hopper to Crawford at shortstop. Here is Devin Marrero. That Rockies game is a final, by the way. Cincinnati tried to come back, but Colorado won today 9-6. So for the moment, the D-backs have a half-game lead over the Rockies atop the NL West. Chris Iannetta, Carlos Gonzalez. Gonzalez had home runs for the Rockies. Crawford one more time at shortstop. Son, that ain't no way to make a living in the big leagues.
No way to make a living in the big leagues, hitting ground balls to Gold Glovers.
Here's Negron, the right fielder tonight. He hit a ground ball that actually split Longoria and Crawford at third and short, went right between them. And into left for an RBI single. This is first hit of the year. It's this one to McCutchen, backing up in right field. Bottom 4 from AT&T Park. D-backs lead the Giants 2-0. The Mets at Chase Field, June 14th through the 17th. And on Father's Day, the first 15,000 dads get this D-backs Hawaiian shirt courtesy of Tyson Foods. Get your tickets at dbacks.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark on Father's Day. Patrick Corbin with a 2-0 lead. He has been tremendously effective here. He's retired all 9 Giants he's faced. Patrick, through 3 innings, has thrown 38 pitches, 27 for strikes. And the leadoff man, Gorkys Hernandez, leads off the Giant fourth. There's a fastball in there for strike one. Hernandez hitless last night. He walked and scored a run. There's that slider down in the dirt. Hernandez strikes out 10 in a row, set down by Corbin. He's got 3 strikeouts.
Hey fans, MLB At Bat is your #1 D-backs app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get D-backs home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast stats, news, and my favorite, more. Download MLB At Bat today.
Posey grounded out to third his first time up. First pitch swing and hits it deep to right field. Negron has got it on the warning track. Christopher Negron, a nice running catch there, as Posey gave it a ride the other way. Brings up Andrew McCutchen, who popped up to win the first. Patrick Corbin for years would pound that fastball inside to right-hand hitters, but this year he's coming into righties with that fastball only half as often, and it's made a big difference for him. Giving the hitters a different look this year. That change, right-hand batters this season hitting 100 points lower against Patrick than they did last year. So he's mixed things up, and it's working well, especially against some of these righties. Staying away there, and it's 1-1.
And once you have a history of pounding right-handers inside, they'll remember that. Yeah, Corbin's the lefty that pounds you inside, and they'll start to look in there. So I think it's a good idea that Patrick's mixed up his arsenal a little bit against the right-handed hitters.
Got the call there from Tony Randazzo ahead of McCutchen 1-2. Patrick moving that fastball more off the plate just a bit against some of these righties. Missing up those two sliders. This one's trying to get down in center, and it lands in front of Owings for the first Giants hit. Well, Corbin sets down the first 11 before McCutcheon's bloop single, and now here's Longoria. Longoria grounded out his first time up. If you're a left-hand batter and you can drop what right-hand hitters are hitting against you by 100 points of batting average, you're going to have a good year. And that's what's happening for Corbin. 5-2 in 12 starts with an ERA under 3. That one is fair for Murphy, and they retire Longoria. We head to the 5th in San Francisco. 2-0 D-backs. On TV. Stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. It's brought to you by Coors Light. Download the free app. Take Fox Sports Arizona and the D-backs with you wherever you go. Diamondbacks have a 2-0 lead. Chris Owings an RBI double. Christopher Negron an RBI single in the second. And so far through 4, Corbin has allowed only 1 base hit. Rockies won in Cincinnati today. Dodgers winners 5-0 behind Ross Stripling. Just get the feeling this NL West race is going to go right down to the wire. Everybody's sort of beating up on each other. Dodgers 5-0 winners at Pittsburgh. Home runs from Puig, Peterson, and Bellinger.
Ross Stripling gave up only 4 hits in shutting down Pirates today. Struck out 7, didn't walk a batter.
Full count on Corbin, 3-2. Right now in the NL West, you've got D-backs, Rockies, Dodgers, Giants. 4 teams all within a game and a half of one another. Padres are only 4.5 back. They're in last place as Corbin strikes out. That's the first strikeout this year for Madison Bumgarner.
Hey fans, a D-backs home run tonight means a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow at participating Jack in the Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
Well, Mad Bum has now retired 5 in a row. Here's Nick Ahmed, who's 0 for 2. Nick has twice grounded out to third. And he knocks that one the other way into right field. Ahmed aboard a 1-out single. 7 hits for the D-backs.
A good plan of attack that time by Nick. He had grounded out to Evan Longoria at third base in his first 2 at-bats of this game, so try somebody else. Working on the right side of the infield that time.
David Peralta hit one in almost that exact same spot his last time up. 1 for 2. David this year right about .215 versus lefties. He's got a couple of home runs against left-handers. Mentioned that Bumgarner in his last rehab start Thursday for San Jose against the D-backs Cal League affiliate. Visalia threw 74 pitches. He's at 61 right now. Got Peralta all tied up in knots for his second strikeout.
Fastball that just kept running up and in. David started to swing and then tried to get out of the way at the same time.
Two down for Goldie, who has singled twice. Bum was saying after that start last week that he felt like he was ready to come back after his first rehab outing. Didn't feel like he needed another one, but they wanted to make sure, so he was out there against Visalia for San Jose last week. He was kind of joking. Sounded like he was only half joking. Well, as long as the front office says I'm ready, I guess I'm ready. All right then.
He probably felt like he could pitch with the broken pinky. Just tape it up. How far is that from your heart?
Coming off a disappointing season last year after the dirt bike accident, 4-9, only 17 starts.
I'll tell you what a ginormous thrill for those guys down in A-ball, though, to get to play with and against Madison Bumgarner. Anytime a big leaguer goes down for some kind of a rehab assignment, that's a highlight of your season as a minor league ball player, to get to rub shoulders with a big leaguer and watch how they go about their business.
3-0 to Goldie. Well, the Jackson Generals, the D-backs AA affiliate, will enjoy that all week long. Yeah. Shelby Miller, who made a rehab start against Tennessee last night, will stay with Jackson all this week. And Shelby will make his third rehab start, Troy Lovello tells us, Sunday with Jackson. So he'll spend the week with the D-backs AA players. Randall Delgado is pitching tonight for Class A Visalia. He'll throw 1 inning, 25 pitches max. So there's a lot of good injury news on the pitching front. Guys starting to get healthy, get busy again. Right at the knees. It was 3-0, now it's 3-2. Bumgarner and Goldschmidt. That's trying to get out of play. Long run for McCutchen, and it's in the seats. Boy, Ahmed was coming around third by the time that thing landed. Nick running all the way from first with the pitch.
Yeah, thinking about big leaguers playing in minor league rehab games. If you've ever seen the movie, what's the one? Kevin Costner.
Bull Durham.
Bull Durham. When they're riding on the bus and Kevin Costner tells them they use brand new balls and batting practice.
Goldie belts that one down the line to foul.
And all the youngsters on the boo. New balls.
They also throw wicked breaking stuff in the show. Ungodly sliders. This guy's got a pretty good one.
Yeah.
About to throw pitch number 70. Madison Bumgarner. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Goldie. 2 outs. Ahmed at first. Good battle going here. Pitch number 9 of the at-bat coming up. Goldie 2 singles tonight. He's got 10 hits in his last 10 games coming into this one. So he's starting to come around. 70 pitches from Mad Bum, 48 strikes. This one's down the line, and that ball is fair. It's in the corner, and it's in the seats. Ahmed will have to stay at third. Ground rule double for Goldie. He's 3 for 3.
Boy, good battle that time by Paul Goldschmidt. Take a look at the pitch by pitch brought to you by Nationwide Vision. Eye on the game. Jumps ahead in the count. 3-0 right here. Bumgarner nibbling around the edges. Notice everything away from Goldie in this at bat. Fastballs and changeups. A couple of cutters mixed in there. And Goldie starts fouling off pitches. Ultimately gets a fastball down and in and doubles down that left field line. Good battle that time.
Big chance right here for John Ryan Murphy. Second and third, 2 outs. First pitch swinging, tapped to shortstop for Crawford. Bumgarner strands 2. It stays 2-0 D-backs. Francisco, D-backs have out-hit the Giants 8-1. They lead it 2-0. Sunday during the Phoenix Mercury broadcast, it's a special box office buyout ticket offer. One night only. A promo code will be revealed during the broadcast, so fans can use the code and receive 50% off tickets to the upcoming June 16th and June 22nd home games. Don't miss the Mercury and the Las Vegas Aces this Sunday, 3 o'clock on Fox Sports Arizona Plus. Mac Williamson, who struck out his first time, leads off the Giant fifth against Patrick Corbin, who who retired the first 11 batters he faced tonight. He's given up only 1 hit. A 2-out bloop single by Andrew McCutcheon. Patrick has been tremendously efficient. 50 pitches, 35 strikes.
We've seen the Giants offense be very aggressive against Patrick tonight, which is something you'll see all teams do against the premier pitchers, and Patrick Corbin is working to that level this season.
Williamson belts one down the line. That one gets to the wall. Mac Williamson, a leadoff double, opens up the Giant 5th.
Williamson, a strong guy. He got fooled a little bit by that pitch, but able to stay back and drive it out into the corner for a leadoff double here in the 5th.
105 miles an hour off the bat of Mac Williamson. He's at second, nobody out for Brandon Crawford. Crawford grounded out to end the 2nd. Crawford on a big-time roll right now, batting better than .450 in his last 20 games. In there for strike 1-1.
Front door breaking ball that time. That slider stayed on the inside corner. Kind of fooled Crawford. He's used to seeing that slider work its way toward the outside part of the plate.
Good slider there, swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. That's a good example of how Patrick has mixed things up, like we were talking about earlier. Those fastballs into right-handers, now away. To the front door slider to the lefty, and the more traditional slider breaking away from the batter down and away. And now he's ahead 1-2. He's off that time. Good take by Crawford. He's back even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Can't get Crawford to bite again, and it's full 3-2. It's a similar circumstance in which Zach Godley has found himself, Bob. What happens when they don't bite on the curveball? What happens when they don't chase the slider? You've got to come back with something else.
Yeah, or throw the slider for a strike.
Let's see what we have here on 3-2 for Crawford. A fastball.
I think the difference being Patrick Corbin appears that he can throw his slider where he wants to, whereas Zach Godley last night had no idea where anything was going.
Just the 3rd 3-ball count tonight for Patrick Corbin. Pokes it fair by Marrero and down the line. This will get Williamson home with a first Giant run. Crawford breaks for second on the throw, and it's 2-1.
Pretty good battle that time by Brandon Crawford against one of the tougher lefties in the National League. Ends up getting a fastball out over the plate and shot it right down that left field line.
Back-to-back doubles open up the San Francisco 5th. That's the 14th double for Crawford. He wasn't sure, took the turn, and they give him credit for the two-bagger.
David's throw should have gone to second base right there. They had no chance to get Williamson at home plate. Come up throwing to second immediately, and that would have held Crawford at first base.
Here's the Panda. Struck out looking his first time up. Breaking balls at the knees for a strike. Thought against Corbin, you might see Nick Hundley catch and Buster Posey at first, but you've got Sandoval in there at first base tonight. They're without Brandon Belt, who had an appendectomy last weekend. He could be out for about 3 weeks. Sandoval hits from the right-hand side, shallow left center. They got this thing surrounded, and it drops in. Crawford had to hold up. He sneaks into third. Marrero wants him to check. Devin thinks they got Crawford out. That one dropped between Ahmed and Owings. Jerry Nair and the bench coach on the phone.
Well, we know that Chris Owings, when playing center field, plays extremely deep. As you get a look at that play at third base, I'm not sure what Devin Marrero can be arguing right there. It looked like he was well on that base that time. As I was saying, Chris Owings plays very deep in center field. That's not his comfort zone out there. He had a long way to go to get there. So did David Peralta. Nick tries to do the best he can to make the over-the-shoulder catch blindly, but no chance. Giants have runners now at first and third.
Mike Butcher out there, just the third start this season in center field for CO. Still nobody out here in the Giant fifth. Joe Panik will be the hitter. Double single opens up the Giant fifth inning. Panik rounded out his first time up. Panik hitting under 200 versus lefties this year, although he has homered twice against left-handers.
John Ryan Murphy saving a run with the runner down there at third base. Dirt dog.
John Ryan getting back-to-back starts behind the plate. Three starts in a row, in fact, for Murphy. He was back there Sunday against Miami. Corbin behind 2-1 with Mad Bum on deck. Missed with a fastball, 3-1. Fifth inning, quite a contrast to the first 4 for Patrick. He retired the first 11 he faced. McCutchen had a 2-out bloop single for their first hit. Longoria tapped out, and Corbin was cruising through 4. But still looking for his first out in the 5th. He's thrown 18 pitches this inning. Panik lays off, and the bases are full with nobody out for Bumgarner.
Well, it goes without saying, with the bases loaded or any situation you're facing Madison Bumgarner with runners in scoring position, you have to pitch him like he's a hitter. just like he's a middle of the lineup run producer.
Crawford at third. The Panda is at second and Panic at first. The run is in, nobody out. Bumgarner, the first time up, grounded out to third. But the exit velocity off the bat was 102 miles an hour. Marrero made a terrific play to get him. Tony Randazzo has been calling that a strike most of the night. Corbin didn't get it that time, and it's 2-0. Got his 2-0 fastball and missed it.
Madison Bumgarner has 2 hits in his career with the bases loaded. They both left the ballpark.
Fastball's right there, and Patrick is back even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, there's been talk in years past that when the Giants played interleague ball that maybe Mad Bum would DH. 2-2. The slider and strikes out. That's 4 for Corbin. Out number 1 in the 5th.
Yeah, the real chance right there for Madison Bumgarner was the 3rd pitch of the at-bat. Patrick misses away with a couple of fastballs to start the sequence. Then he's got to come in the zone. Right there was the swing. He should have hit that one. Comes back with a fastball for a strike, and then a slider down and in, gets that feeble swing. Our nationwide vision eye on the game.
Corbin has 7 ground ball outs so far tonight. If he could get a ground ball from Gorkys Hernandez right there, that would be a lifesaver. Hernandez is grounded out and struck out 0 for 2. Slider is there. Hernandez stuck in a 3 for 25 slide right now. Base is full of Giants and 1 out. th pitch of this inning from Patrick Corbin. Swing and a miss on the slider, 1-2. He had been absolutely cruising until this 5th. One and 2 on Gorkys Hernandez. He got him. 2 big strikeouts for Patrick. 1 more to go, and it's Buster Posey.
When a pitcher gets in trouble, he's usually going to go to the pitch he has the most confidence in. And for Patrick Corbin, recently that's been that hard slider. 3 sliders of the 4 pitches that he threw there to Hernandez. Got the strike.
Posey is grounded out, flied out. Hit one deep to right field on the first pitch his last time up. with a fastball that time. Posey hit a 2-run double last night. He homered here Sunday against the Phillies.
Posey choked up on that bat a little bit like Paul Goldschmidt does, just up off the knob, maybe a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch.
They have so many similarities in their approach at the plate. They look exactly alike. He'll do the thing with the bat behind his back. Patrick Corbin through the first 4 innings had thrown 48 pitches in the ball game. He has thrown 30 in this inning right here. One and two. Williamson doubled. Crawford doubled him home. Sandoval hit a bloop single that dropped in between 3 D-back defenders. Panic walked. He punched out Bumgarner and Hernandez, now ahead of Posey, 1 and 2. Patrick Corbin leaves them loaded with 3 enormous strikeouts. He got Mad Bum, he got Hernandez, and he got Posey. 3 consecutive Ks with the bases full. He keeps it 2-1. Look at this. Ketel Marte, his last 8 hits have all been for extra bases.
Oh, that's remarkable. Oh, every time he hits it, he finds a gap or bangs it off a wall somewhere.
He doubled and scored to lead off the second tonight. So 8 games counting tonight. 5 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 home runs.
Oh, what a tremendous job by Patrick Corbin. We talked about it with the strikeout of Gorkys Hernandez. When pitchers get in trouble, they're going to lean on the pitch they have the most confidence in. 3 out of the 4 pitches to Hernandez were sliders. 3 out of the 4 pitches to Buster Posey were sliders.
Right at Longoria. That was some big-time pitching by Patrick Corbin. That was big league stuff.
There's no net. You got the bases loaded, facing some of the best hitters in this Giants lineup, and Patrick struck out the side with the bases loaded.
Impressive. So it's 2-1 as we start the 6th. There's Chris Owings, who had an RBI double following Marte. Back in the 2nd, D-backs got their 2 runs on an Owings double and a Negron single. Bumgarner 74 pitches in his rehab outing for San Jose last week. He's over that here. With 1 out in the 6th. No one warming up in the Giant bullpen. Interesting thing about that Mad Bum rehab start last week against Visalia, Bob, as you mentioned, he gave up 1 home run in that game. And it was hit by D-back draftee Pavin Smith, their #1 pick from last year. And as we just heard from Derek Ladnier earlier in the ball game, D-backs drafted another UVA player, their 2nd pick yesterday, outfielder Jake McCarthy.
You know, we were talking earlier about when a big leaguer goes out on a rehab assignment. Well, you can imagine that Pavin Smith probably phoned his parents immediately after the last out of that ball game to report what he did against Mad Bum.
Better believe it. Tricky play here for Crawford. Boy, he is as good as they get down there at shortstop.
Two of the best in the business here at the ballpark tonight with Nick Ahmed and Brandon Crawford. Brandon's got the hardware at home to prove it.
D-backs have made 17 outs, 9 of them now to the left side of the infield. Marrero 0 for 2. He started 3rd base tonight against the left-hander. Got the call off the corner, and Devin is down 0-2. That's another one of, as you say, it was never in the strike zone.
Yeah. Curveball from a left-hander to a right-handed hitter that finishes up off of the outside corner.
Goes to high fastball. Bumgarner a 1-2-3 6th, but the D-backs hold a 2-1 lead. gets in trouble. He goes to that slider. 3 sliders, 3 strikeouts.
3 sliders, 3 strikeouts. And I mentioned 3 of the 4 pitches to Hernandez, 3 of the 4 pitches to Buster Posey. That hard slider either in the strike zone or dipping down and in to get the swinging strike.
Our nationwide vision eye on the game. Now Andrew McCutchen leads off the Giants' 6th. Mark Melanson has just come out in the Giant bullpen, started warming up. McCutchen singled his last time up, a bloop single with 2 outs into center. That was the first Giant hit. That was back in the 4th inning. Yes, he went, says Bill Welke. McCutchen has homered in each of his last 2 games. Chops that one foul. In front of Ron Wotus at third. There's Melanson, the former closer, just off the DL. D-backs with 3 infielders on the third base side. Called strike 3. 4 consecutive strikeouts for Patrick Corbin make it 7 in the ballgame.
Now this one on a fastball. You strike out a bunch of guys with that hard slider down and in. You get people to start looking for it, and then they're susceptible to that fastball in.
Corbin began the day tied with the Mets' Jacob deGrom, 2nd in the National League in strikeouts behind only Max Scherzer. Longoria has grounded out twice, 0 for 2. Lead the shift on. There's Strapple. Longoria so far 0 for 6 in the series. Took a cut of the fastball off the plate, and now it's 2-2. Off the mound, Marte backs up. Tricky hop there for Ketel Marte. 4-3 on the putout. 2 down in the 6th.
Not only handling the tricky hop, but then the off-balance throw as he was kind of fading away into shallow center field, but still got enough on it to get the runner at first base.
Well, it was Mac Williamson that got that Giant 5th inning started, a double down the line. He scored on Crawford's double. Broken bat, loop right to Marrero. We're through 6 in San Francisco. It's 2-1 D-backs.
photo or video with hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
We've reached the 7th in San Francisco. Madison Bumgarner's night is over. And here's the former closer, Mark Melancon, who's had an injury-riddled run as a Giant. He had season-ending surgery last year for a right forearm problem. Missed the first 56 games this year with a right flexor strain, just back from the DL.
His calling card before his injuries was that cut fastball. He'd throw it almost every pitch, mix in an occasional four-seamer inside to a right-handed hitter just to get him off the cutter.
Gerard Dyson will start the 7th. He will bat for Christopher Negron.
Mark Melancon, another Wildcat. He went to the University of Arizona the same time Nick Hundley did. They were battery mates at U of A.
Now they are reunited, and it feels pretty good. Well, he's been hurt, so have to downgrade it just a bit. Is that Peaches and Herb?
It sounds right.
I always defer to you for the music references. There's ball 1. So it looks like Dyson will take over in the outfield for Negron. Patrick Corbin, a little late getting out there. Nick Ahmed was occupying a spot in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, somebody technically is supposed to be in the on-deck circle at all times, and occasionally when the pitcher's a little late getting out there or the catcher's taking his gear off or whatever the case may be, the next guy usually steps up into the on-deck circle to pinch hit for the on-deck hitter.
Keeping it warm out there. Dyson down 1-2. He singled in his start in center field last night.
Imagine Dyson will stay in and move to center field. Chris Owens probably slide over to right. That would seem to make a lot of sense.
And a pretty good night for Christopher Negron. His first start this year, had an RBI single, made a nice running catch in right center. 2-2 on Dyson. Right to Panic. And Patrick Corbin will hit.
Taking the at bat here. We'll go back out and take the mound for the bottom half of the 7th inning. D-backs get 4 2/3 innings out of the bullpen last night. 4 different relievers pitched in relief of Zach Godley.
Right now Patrick's at 90 pitches for the ball game. Giants in the bottom half of the 7th will have Crawford, Sandoval, Panic due up 6, 7, and 8. Gets away from Posey. He recovers close at first, and the throw goes into the bullpen. Corbin heads for second. That one rolled well up the right field line. That's a strikeout, a wild pitch, and a throwing error on Buster Posey. So K, wild pitch, E2, all on one swing.
He filled up the box swing with one swing. Box score, rather. He swings at that breaking ball in the dirt, busting it down at first baseline. Buster Posey jumps on the ball quickly, very deliberate in spinning around toward first base. Then he rushes his throw. Man, the ball got boxed down there in the bullpen in right field. Anybody other than the pitcher running, he may have ended up at third.
Now this is interesting, Bob. As soon as Patrick gets on base, he's going to have to run the bases now. Yoshi Hirano runs out there and starts to get loose in the D-back bullpen. Ahmed is the hitter. He singled his last time up.
I assumed Patrick was going to go back out. Maybe not.
Well, like we said, he's had 90 pitches, standing at second with a 1 out. Nick 1 for 3. Fastball misses up. Ahmed's now hit safely in 4 straight games. Boy, nice to get that insurance run home here with 1 out in the 7th. Good breaking ball dropped in there for a strike. 1-1.
A lot more curveballs than we're used to seeing from Melanson. I mentioned his calling card is that cut fastball working away from the right-handed hitters.
He had a rough year last year, only appeared in 32 games, had an ERA right at 4.5, and then needed surgery in September. This is in the air, left center field. Hernandez and Williamson. Corky's Hernandez has it. Corbin stays put at second, 2 outs.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free crunchy beef tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
David Peralta singled in the 3rd, 1 for 3 tonight. David at 264 on the year, but he's hitting almost 420 with runners in scoring position. He's got Corbin down there and 2 outs. Didn't get time, and it worked out. He took a ball. Late time not granted there by Tony Randazzo. David backed out of the box, but Melanson missed. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Just as a point of rule, the hitter requests timeout from the home plate umpire. They don't have to grant it if they think that pitcher's close enough in his delivery that there could possibly be an injury if you call timeout.
David got a little lucky that time. So much there. It's 2-2.
But that Melanson curveball is a real downer. Has very little lateral movement. Breaks 12-6.
Remember when Melanson was a lights-out closer for the Pirates, part of the Shark Tank, that bullpen they used to have in Pittsburgh. Got big money to come to San Francisco. 2-2 with 2 outs. Full count on Peralta, 3-2. Goldie 3 for 3 on deck. He has singled twice and doubled. Posey able to hang on to the foul tip. He strands Corbin. 2-1 D-backs in the 7th. The Father's Day Hawaiian shirt giveaway next Sunday, June 17th. Then there's the D-backs duffel bag on June 30th, and brand new, the Jake Lamb bobblehead coming up July 21st. Get your tickets at dbacks.com, and we'll see you at the ballpark. Patrick Corbin back out there to start the bottom of the 7th inning. Gerard Dyson takes over in center field after he hit for Christopher Negron, and Owings slides over to right, replacing Negron. Well, you've got Crawford, the left-hand batter, due to lead off this inning. The switch-hitting Sandoval on deck, and then another left-hander, Joe Panik, due up. Yoshi Hirano is ready in the bullpen. He'll be joined down there by Andrew Chafin. Corbin at 90 pitches, 61 for strikes. He has walked 1, struck out 7, given up only 4 hits. One of those was by Crawford. An RBI double in the 5th drove in the Giants' only run. Hirano, the right-hander, and Chafin, the lefty.
If you look at Bruce Bochy's bench tonight, as you can imagine, with Patrick Corbin starting, he got a lot of right-handed bats. That doesn't make any sense, but he does a lot of right-handed bats on the bench. Hundley, Pence, Jackson, a switch hitter, Hansen. That's why Yoshi's getting ready down there, just in case one of those right-handers drops in there in that pitcher spot.
Patrick really got on a roll there to get out of trouble in the 5th with those 3 consecutive bases loaded strikeouts. He's retired the last 6 he's faced. And now ahead of Crawford, 1-2. Doesn't bite on the slider. Flip Sandoval around to bat right-handed, by far his weaker side, and then you got the lefty Panik behind him. Again, checks on the slider. Full count, 3-2. He went to 3-2 against Corbin in the 5th before he doubled down the left field line. Didn't get the call. He missed with a fastball, a leadoff walk. Tying runs aboard to start the 7th. Here's the Panda. Away with a fastball. Sandoval homered last night as a left-hand batter. All 3 of his home runs this year have come from the left-hand side. He's already got 4 hits in the series. Hitting for another one here. Owings has it. 1 away. Here comes Panik. Torey Lovello. He's got Chafin, the lefty, and Hirano, the right-hander. Hunter Pence has come out in the on-deck circle behind Panik, ready to hit for the pitcher Melanson. Patrick Corbin, terrific tonight. He leaves leading 2-1.
again. I mean, just the ability to pitch out of that jam in the 5th inning. Bases loaded, 1 run already in. He punched out the side. Slider was really good tonight. His fastball location for the most part was very good. I don't know what else you can say. He pitched an outstanding ball game to hold this Giants offense to only 1 run on 4 hits.
Well, Torey Lovullo must really like this matchup, Chafin versus Panik, because he replaces the lefty with the lefty. And here's Andrew, his 29th appearance of the year. Panik has grounded out and walked. Fastball is low, 1-0.
This might be one that has more to do with the advanced metrics than the numbers we see on the stat sheet, because Andrew Chafin against Joe Panik, he's held him to a 1 for 7. Patrick Corbin against Joe Panik, a 1 for 12. But there must be something about Panik's swing and the trajectory of Andrew Chafin's pitches that adds up to this is the matchup the Diamondbacks won.
We've got the right hand hitting Hunter Pence in the on-deck circle. Hirano is still ready in the bullpen. So this is likely Chafin's only batter.
Yeah, you would have to believe Andrew Chafin understands that with a string of righties coming up after Pence, the pinch hitter. You've got Hernandez, Posey, McCutchen, Longoria, and Williamson, all right-handers, so he has to know this is his only batter.
The 2-0. We'll keep an eye on Crawford over there. He's the tying run.
With 1 stolen base this season. He's been caught 4 times.
In the air, right center field. Dyson's got it. So Chafin gets his man, and here comes Pence to hit for Melanson. Hirano is ready in the pen.
San Francisco, number 8, Hunter Pence.
And now Rennell Brooks Moon announces Pence. Here comes Torey Lovullo. 2 outs in the 7th of a 2-1 game. Back after this. All of this after a leadoff walk to Brandon Crawford, who's the tying run at first, now with 2 outs in the 7th. So it's Hirano and Pence. Pence singled and walked last night. Got the start in left field, 177 on the year. Just back from a right thumb sprain that kept him out for more than 40 games. Crawford at first, 2 down. Got the high fastball and turned it loose. Now John Ryan Murphy's really going to have to be ready, I imagine, Bob, because you know that splitter is coming. You want to keep Crawford at first if you can.
No doubt about it. And John Ryan Murphy's been really good blocking pitches in the dirt this year, especially when he knows it has a chance to end up in the dirt.
Got a fastball here. Just missed off the plate, a ball and a strike. Three straight fastballs. Yoshi's behind 2-1.
Tried to go up there to the top of the zone again. He got him to chase one for the first pitch of this at bat, but laid off that time.
There's the split. 3 balls and a strike. Gorkys Hernandez on deck. The leadoff hitter is 0 for 3. Fastball's in there. Full count 3-2. This will get Crawford started. Big pitch for Yoshi Hirano. There goes Crawford. He missed in. And now the tying runs at second. The go-ahead runs aboard. And the hitter is Gorkys Hernandez.
Boy, I don't know how Hunter Pence took that pitch. It was a splitter that started in the strike zone, but then dipped down low and in. Pence somehow was able to check his swing and take the base on balls.
Hernandez 287 on the year. He's under 240 with runners in scoring position. First and second, 2 outs.
Well, one thing Yoshi has working in his favor, nobody on this Giants roster has more than 2 at-bats against him.
Starts him off with a split that time, 0-1. Hernandez was hot last month. Hit .325 in May, but right now he's stuck in a 3 for 26 skid. Fastball is there. Just caught a seam, and it's 0-2.
You'll notice Yoshi stepping off the back of the mound, rubbing up the baseball, but he checks his infielders to see if anybody puts on a pickoff sign. He wants to make sure he knows where all his defenders are behind him before he gets back up on that rubber and throws the next pitch.
It's a veteran pitcher out there, a long-time closer in Japan, and a good one.
Takes a look around the infield, makes eye contact with Ketel Marte, took a peek over to Goldie at first base, checks to see where Nick is playing at shortstop. That's his game plan for the hitter at the plate. Now he's ready to go.
A ball and 2 strikes on Gorkys Hernandez. 2 on and 2 out. Fastball away. Yoshihisa Hirano, 11 seasons in Japan's Pacific League, closing games for the Oryx Buffaloes. 156 career saves.
I heard it termed a pitch of action right here, a 2-2 count with 2 outs in the inning, a couple runners on base. You want something to happen right here. You don't want to go to a full count, get those runners moving.
Corbin responsible for the tying run. Crawford at second. Here's the 2-2. The splitter in the dirt. Buster Posey is on deck. And now the runners will get started. Crawford from second and Pence from first.
Love to see that communication. Once again, as I said, 2 outs, full count. Both runners will be on the move. All the infielders made eye contact with each other and indicated the plays at first base. Since the runners are going to be in motion, you're probably not going to have a chance to get that forced play at second or third. The out is at first base.
3-2 to Gorkys Hernandez. There go the runners. He missed low with a fastball, and they're loaded for Posey. Hirano has walked both of the hitters he's faced, and now he's in a real jam. Bullpen still quiet for Torey Lovullo. Mike Butcher out to have a word.
A very slim history here between Buster Posey and Yoshi Hirano. Only 1 at bat. Yoshi struck him out. And if you're sitting at home thinking, why isn't Archie Bradley coming in to pitch to Buster Posey? Buster Posey is 6 for 12 lifetime against Archie Bradley.
Ouch. Now you'll recall Posey was up with the bases full in the 5th inning against Patrick Corbin, and he struck out. Patrick 3 consecutive strikeouts with the bases loaded. And now Hirano will try and pull a rabbit out of a hat here. Bases full and 2 down in the 7th. Posey 0 for 3. Yoshi 13 pitches, only 5 for strikes.
He's tried to throw that fastball on the outside corner to the right-handed hitters. He really pulls it over into the left-handed batter's box. Like he wants to make sure if he misses, he's going to miss in his favor and not over the heart of the plate.
And that inability to spot the fastball is killing him right now. He's thrown twice as many balls as strikes. Behind 2-0.
Yoshi, like just about every other pitcher in the world, is much more effective when he's ahead in the count. Then he can expand the zone with that fastball up, the splitter down.
In the air to right center. Dyson. Yoshi Hirano walks the high wire, leaves him loaded. It's still 2-1 D-backs. was terrific. Goldie 3 for 3. Remarkably, Bob, the Giants, who have had 4 at-bats with the bases loaded, are trailing 2-1.
Wow, and 2 of those were Buster Posey. He struck out with the bases loaded in the 5th and popped out to center field right there against Yoshi Hirano to end that inning.
So the D-backs hanging on. They've out-hit the Giants 8-4. They lead it 2-1. Hirano walks Pence, walked Hernandez, but got Posey to fly out to center. And now the right-hander Sam Dyson, good ground ball pitcher, is on for the Giants. His 28th appearance of the year, a 2.39 ERA.
Goldie will lead it off for the Diamondbacks. 3 knocks already in the game tonight. His first 3-hit game since April 26th against the Phillies.
Yeah, counting tonight, Goldie now 13 hits in his last 11 games. 3 home runs over that stretch. They'll lead it off in the 8th. Nice to get this win. The Rockies won at Cincinnati earlier today. 9-6. Dodgers 5-0 winners at Pittsburgh. Top 4 teams in the National League West separated by only a game and a half. D-backs, Rockies, Dodgers, and these Giants.
Goldie's had good success against the Giants right-hander. 3 for 4 lifetime with a walk.
Swing and a miss. Archie Bradley. McCutchen, Longoria, Williamson, 3, 4, and 5 due up in the Giant 8th.
Not an easy bullpen for a visiting pitcher to warm up. You've got all those associate pitching coaches standing right there next to you, criticizing every pitch you throw.
Well, plus you've got guys back there switching jerseys every half inning. I don't know if that dude's back. There's Murphy. 0 for 3.
Yeah, if you weren't with us last night, there was a young man sitting down right near the Diamondbacks bullpen, and he would change jerseys. When the Diamondbacks took the field defensively, he'd put on his D-backs hat and jersey, hoping to get a ball thrown his direction. And the same thing when the Giants took the field, he'd put on his Giants jersey.
I have some information regarding that situation. Yeah, using little finger quotes. I think you're going to find it unsettling. So I come up to the booth here earlier, and our stat man Bo was here, actually here early before the game, which is rare for him, talking to a dude, a bro. Turned out that Bo's friend knows the San Jose State guy who was down there with the guy who was changing jerseys, so there's a connection. And apparently this is a thing. He goes over to the A's games, does that in Oakland, comes over here, does it for the Giant games. They're running a scam on 2 different ballparks.
He's an interleague fraud.
Yeah. So it's a whole systematic thing happening here that Bo is caught up in the middle of and can't get out of it.
Bo may be called to testify when this ends up in court.
Well, he can't do that because he doesn't own a pair of long pants. 50 degrees. It's a systematic failure, really. The whole thing is broken down. 1-2 on John Ryan Murphy. Ketel Marte will be next. He doubled and scored in the 2nd.
Get somebody on base in front of Ketel Marte. Good chance he's going to get an extra base hit.
8 straight. hit that one in the dirt. Posey completes the strikeout. John Ryan 0 for 4. Here's Ketel Marte.
I see a Giants right-handed pitcher wearing number 49, Jeff Brantley.
The Cowboy.
The Cowboy back in the day wore number 49 for the Giants.
And he's a dandy.
Chops over the mound, but Dyson backs up and makes a nice play. Works a 1-2-3/8 inning. Time to bring in the beard in San Francisco. Francisco D-backs hanging on to a 2-1 lead. McCutchen, Longoria, Williamson. 3, 4, and 5 due up in the Giant 8th against Archie Bradley. McCutchen singled in the 4th inning. 1 for 3 tonight. Two have met before. You may recall PNC Park in Pittsburgh. We set the Wayback Machine. Gone.
That's that short porch I was talking about in PNC to right field, and that time McCutchen took advantage of it.
Memorial Day walk-off winner. Memorial Day weekend.
Boy, Archie's just beating him with fastballs here. 96 and McCutchen way late.
0-2. There's a good look for Moscam. You see Ketel Marte back there, the second baseman on the shortstop side of the bag. Ooh. 96 from Bradley, and he blows away McCutchen.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. 3 fastballs, sit him down. Not too hard to figure out this pitch by pitch. Fastball, fastball, fastball.
Evan Longoria 0 for 3. He's grounded out 3 times. Keep the 3 infielders on the third base side against Longoria. He was hitless in the series, 247 on the year. Hunter Strickland has started warming up in the Giant bullpen. Straight heat from Archie. It's 0-2. D-backs will have Owings, Morero, and Dyson due up in the top of the 9th inning. Look out. Good thing they have somebody guarding that bullpen. Got the chest protector on, ready to prepare just in case you get something like that. Got the bullpen catcher with his back to home plate, can't see. And Longoria dumps one into right field. A 1-out single. He's the tying run. Mac Williamson doubled and scored in the 5th. This guy's got big time power. You got to be careful.
Williamson back on April 23rd against the Washington Nationals hit a 464-foot homer, the longest one by any Giants hitter this year.
That seems far.
It is.
Boy, doesn't get the call from Tony Randazzo. It's off the plate, down and away, 2-0. Williamson, as we mentioned earlier, when he first got called up, hit 3 homers in his first 5 games and then suffered a concussion. 2 balls and no strikes. .98 right there, and he missed it.
Partner, you notice the bubbles every now and then when we take that shot from center field. You can see the bubbles. I don't know whether they're out in center field in front of the camera or whether they're actually blowing across the diamond, but went to a ball game and a Lawrence Welk show broke out.
And a 1 and a 2. As long as nobody's playing the accordion, we'll be fine. Tapper to third. Morero cleans it up. Longoria now in scoring position, 2 outs. And here comes Brandon Crawford. Well, Crawford, the hottest hitter in the big leagues right now. Since May 1st, no player in the majors has more base hits than Brandon Crawford, who's hitting .322 on the year.
I'm sorry, partner. 3 for 13 lifetime against Archie Bradley.
Crawford had the RBI double in the 5th that got the Giant run home. He walked his last time up against Patrick Corbin. The knuckle curve of this 1-0.
Now, conventional wisdom would tell you that you don't put the tying or winning run on base intentionally, but with Pablo Sandoval in the on-deck circle, it has to cross your mind at least. Brandon Crawford, as we've talked about throughout this series, one of the hottest hitters in baseball right
now. Being careful, curveball away, fastball away. But he's behind 2-0. Sandoval's no picnic either. He homered last night. He's got 4 hits in the series. Longoria down there at second as the tying run with 2 outs. '97 got the call just off the plate, 2-1. D-backs pitchers have responded all night long. With a 2-1 lead, Corbin 3 consecutive bases-loaded strikeouts. Hirano got a fly ball out with the bases full to end the 7th. And now Bradley trying to strand the tying run in the 8th. Behind on Brandon Crawford, 3-1.
Yeah, curveball there on the 3-1 pitch. That tells you that Archie didn't really care if he walked him right there. He wasn't going to give him anything to hit, especially anything from the middle of the plate in where Crawford might hook it out of here to right field. Take your chances with Pablo.
Sandoval singled in the 5th, 1 for 3 tonight. Now the downside of this is he hits as a left-hand batter. That is by far his stronger side. The tying runs at second, the go-ahead runs at first with 2 outs in the 8th. Fastball away.
Only 3 previous plate appearances for Sandoval against Bradley. 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 1 ground out.
The Panda this year about a .350 hitter with runners in scoring position. Cut at 97. A ball and a strike.
Sandoval, a very aggressive swinger under any circumstances, but especially with the potential tying run out there at second base. He is not going to walk. He's going to get his hacks in here.
Giants 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position tonight. Archie kind of nitpicking out there. He's not coming right at these guys like he came right at McCutchen to open up this inning. Two balls and 1 strike.
Well, John Ryan Murphy shaking his head yes to Archie Bradley. That's right where he wanted that fastball, up in the zone. Sandoval had a good swing at it, but couldn't quite catch up to it. Fouled it straight back.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 on and 2 outs. Shortstop Ahmed. They got him. Bradley strands 2. It's still 2-1 D-backs. Well, the D-backs took a 2-0 lead in the second inning here. They have held on with some outstanding defense and some high leverage pitching, some big outs in big spots. And here's Hunter Strickland on to work the ninth. Chris Owings will lead it off. Devin Marrero and Gerard Dyson do up after that. Archie Bradley stranded 2 to keep it 2-1. Corbin, Chafin, Hirano, Bradley have all gotten big outs with a 1-run lead. Third base under the glove of Longoria. Evan Longoria whiffed, and Owings is aboard for the second time tonight.
What?
They scored a base hit.
Oh, man.
That's a Gold Glove third baseman down there, and they scored it a base hit.
CO will definitely take it, but that is a travesty. Man, I retired too soon. If that's a hit.
Well, I think they were inspired by showing the highlights of your
maybe
game
so.
On the board here earlier tonight between innings.
A couple of those could have been hits too, so not really.
Longoria's got 3 Gold Gloves. That's an interesting call. So here's Marrero. And a bunt right back to the mound. Strickland, they cut down Owings and they can't turn 2.
Like Marrero was trying to push that ball to the right side of the field, make Sandoval come in from first base and field it. Unfortunately, bunted it right back to the mound.
Gerard Dyson is the hitter. Thought maybe you would hit Lamb for Marrero there, but now Jake is in the on-deck circle set to hit for Archie Bradley. Marrero's glove in there at third. Brad Boxberger, who threw 4 pitches in the ball game last night to get the final out of the game, is warming up in the D-back bullpen. Panic, the pitcher spot, and Hernandez due up for the Giants 8-9-1. Bottom of the ninth. Funny thing about Hunter Strickland, the right-hander, left-hand batter is just 4 for 50 against him this year. Fastball's up. Dyson ahead 2-0. That drew Longoria in from third. 3-1. Lamb, the on-deck hitter. Marrero takes off, and that's ball 4. Jake Lamb hits for Archie Bradley. Jake walked, had an RBI single last night, 230 on the year with 2 home runs. Two on and 1 out in the 9th.
Jake Lamb 1 for 5 with a walk against Hunter Strickland. Love to see him catch one of those fastballs out in front of home plate and hook it to right field. A little bit of a breeze blowing from the right field corner toward the left field corner. Not much, though.
Yeah, there's a lot about this matchup that says splash hit. Who gets a fastball? Look out. Here's a look at the Giant defense. The shortstop Crawford right behind the bag at second. Looking for the fastball that time, didn't get it. 1-1. One's out to right field. McCutcheon will play it on a hop. Here comes Marrero. Dyson at third, and it's 3-1 D-backs. RBI single for Jake Lamb.
Well, it wasn't a splash down, but it'll work.
Splashed it into right field.
Yes, he did. Got just enough of it. And a good read out there at second base by Devin Marrero. Realized that nobody could get to that ball. He's off like a shot by the time McCutcheon gets to it. He's well around third base. And with Dyson's speed, he ends up at third now. Runners on the corners as Kurt Young makes another visit to the mound.
It's interesting what they do if we can get our fine director Brian Moss to get a shot at the center field scoreboard. Usually you have runs, hits, errors, and most oftentimes people will put runners left on base after the runs and the hits and the errors. But on the board here, they put mound visits up there. So you see RHE and then MVR, mound visits remaining. That's a kind of a different look.
It took me a while to find it last night. Every ballpark has one somewhere, but it took a while to find it. I just assumed that was left on base. That's what they usually put on the big board.
Yeah, they kind of sneak it in there here in San Francisco. So here's a chance for Nick. He singled in the 5th, 1 for 4. Runners in the corners and 1 out. A run is in. Fastball misses low. A look at the Giants infield depth. Nick trying to bunt. That one's back to the screen.
I'm not sure if that was freelancing by Nick Ahmed or whether that was a potential safety squeeze right there that he just fouled off.
I really like that play with Dyson's speed at third if you can get the bunt down. Longoria's even with a bag down there. Jake Lamb aboard at first. No sign of a bunt that time. Another breaking ball from Strickland, and Ahmed's ahead 2-1. Popped it straight up in the air behind the bag at second. Panic drifting out there. 2 outs. A chance for David Peralta. Corey Guerin will quickly start to get loose in the Giant bullpen. Peralta singled in the third. He's 1 for 4 tonight. Corey Guerin worked in the ball game for the Giants last night through 31 pitches in the 8th inning. Gave up a walk, couple of base hits. D-backs scored a run in that 8th inning against him. 2 on and 2 out for Peralta. Center field, Gorkys Hernandez broke in, now drifts back, and he's got it. D-backs tack on a run. Here comes Boxberger with a 3-1 lead. Getting big outs in some big-time spots.
Yeah, bases loaded, nobody out in the 5th inning. Patrick Corbin strikes out 3 batters in a row to escape that jam. In the 7th inning, the Giants had him loaded up again. This time Yoshi Hirano gets a lazy fly ball to center field off the bat of Buster Posey, and then Archie Bradley with a little tap dance of his own. Runners on first and second. The tying run at second base. He gets Sandoval to ground to short. Nicely done.
2 of those outs against Buster Posey with the bases full. And now Brad Boxberger is on to work the 9th inning with a 3-1 lead. Joe Panik will lead it off for the Giants. Alan Hansen, who had a big pinch hit double in the game last night, is on deck, and Gorkys Hernandez, the leadoff man, follows him. Boxberger 13 for 14 in his save opportunities. Joe Panik walked in the 5th against Patrick Corbin. He's 0 for 2. Boxberger came on in the 8th inning last night, struck out Andrew McCutchen on 4 pitches, the only batter he faced. David Peralta. So now here's Hansen. He'll hit for Strickland, a pinch hit 2-run double last night in the 4th inning. .320 on the year. He's got 4 homers. A switch hitter batting from the left-hand side.
He's 2 for 4 as a pinch hitter for Bruce Bochy. All 4 at bats and both hits obviously coming from the left side.
And he's better than a .330 hitter this year as a left-hand batter. Tony Watson, the left-hander, quickly getting ready in the Giant bullpen. 0-1 on Allen Hansen. Pokes this one down the line. Owings on the run in the corner. And that's down for a base hit. Hansen's got a double. CO slid and disappeared into that corner right by the 309 mark. And it looks like he's okay. First base umpire Bill Welke ruled fair ball, double for Hansen.
I wonder if CO was checking his slide mark out there or where the ball hit.
Yeah.
Tough to tell from that angle. It appeared to be a fair ball, but the way CO was looking back at the foul line, it was like he couldn't believe it was fair.
Now here's the thing, it looks like they're going to challenge that. It's a boundary call. They'll take a look, but you have to have an angle that shows definitively that the ball landed in foul ground. And from the angle we just saw, that's tough with Owings sliding into the ground like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a camera in the ballpark that'll have a good angle at that ball down in the right field corner as far as that one was.
I mean, there's no foul ground in those corners anyway. You run out of room real fast. But they'll have a look in New York. And we'll try and see if we have an angle that shows the ball landing either fair or foul. Now here's what we have here. That's a fair ball.
Fair ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good job by our crew. So now the tying run comes to the plate with 1 out in the 9th inning. Hansen a double. And here's Gorkys Hernandez 0 for 3 with a walk. Fastballs there, 0-1. So 2 at bats for Allen Hansen, 2 pinch hit doubles. Got a hittable fastball there and missed. 0-2. Yes, he went, Bill Welke. Hernandez strikes out, 2 down.
Yep, good call.
Well, we just showed you a moment ago, twice tonight, Buster Posey's been up there with the bases loaded. He struck out in the 5th, he flied out in the 7th. He's 0 for 4 tonight. Tying run at the plate, 2 outs in the 9th. Fastball's a strike, 0-1. Jody Jackson standing by. D-backs live post-game show. Immediately follows our ball game. Out of play, and it's 0-2.
Boy, good spot for that 92-mile-an-hour heater inside part of the plate with a little bit of tailing action. Right in on Buster's hands, fouled harmlessly down that right field line.
It is no easy feat beating the Giants in this ballpark. They are 18-10 at home this year. They've won 6 straight at AT&T Park. But Boxberger's a strike away.
Talk about an emergency swing.
You could hear the alarm bells from here. Flashing red lights, everything.
Started the bat and then saw that pitch diving off the outside corner, extended his swing and just barely got a piece of it.
Still 0-2.
Now runner at second. Key at bat in the ball game right here. You don't want to take any chances. You've got some mound visits left. It's an appropriate time to take that meeting on the mound.
Can't take them with you.
If he wanted it up, Boxberger threw it right over the heart of the plate. Once again, Posey just gets a piece to stay alive.
McCutchen would be next. Oh, 0-2 to Buster Posey.
I mean, that is a center cut 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
He's missed 3 of them in this at bat. He's putting that pitch in some bad spots, but so far he survived. Hit. Hansen being waved home by Ron Wotus. The throw is offline, and it's 3-2.
Pretty good battle right there by Buster Posey. Eventually he gets a fastball on the outer third and just guides it through the right side of the infield. RBI base hit.
Austin Jackson will come in and run for Posey. He's the tying run at first with 2 outs. The hitter is Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen a single in the 4th. He's 1 for 4. He's also struck out 5 times in the series. That was a big play right there.
He had to actually get his bare hand involved with that block, sliding over into that left-handed batter's box. He just kind of knocks it down with his glove in that right hand. Obviously, you want to keep Jackson there at first base.
That was the first ball that Brad Boxberger has thrown tonight. 14 pitches, 13 strikes. There's another one. And he's behind 2-0. Longoria, the on-deck hitter. Got a high fastball and missed it. 2-1.
90 miles an hour up there above the letters. A little bit higher than he can handle. Good high ball hitter, scooted up there just a little higher than he can handle.
gets under the glove of Marrero and into left. Jackson stops at second.
First top spin ground ball sneaks through that left side.
Here's Longoria. Tying runs at second, winning runs at first. Mike Butcher making his way out to the mound. The entire infield will meet him there. Longoria singled his last time up. He's 1 for 4 tonight. He's grounded out 3 times. This year hitting only about .220 with runners in scoring position. Austin Jackson is the tying run at second. Andrew McCutchen is the winning run at first with 2 outs in the ninth. Boxberger and Longoria. Having a low fastball, 0-1. Another fastball right on a tee for a Giant hitter. Boxberger continues to walk the high wire, but for the most part he's getting away with it. Wants to change up. Twenty pitches, 17 for strikes. Here's another emergency hack.
A lot of fastballs from Boxberger tonight. I don't know whether he thinks the Giants might be looking for that changeup and he wants to cross him up and challenge him with the heater, but this is more fastballs than we usually see him throw in 5 appearances.
Check Twitter. Steven Souza Jr. agrees with you. Here's the 1-2 to Longo. High bouncer to shortstop. Ball game. D-backs pitchers got some big outs all night long, and they hang on to even the series 3-2.
Boy, nice ball game all the way around. Diamondbacks spoiling the return of Madison Bumgarner tonight, making his first start of the 2018 season. He gave up 8 hits and a couple runs in his 6-inning work, but really it was all about the D-backs pitching and making big pitches when they had to.
Boxberger is 14th save. Patrick Corbin the win. He's 6-2. Corbin 11 times in 13 starts with at least 7 strikeouts. Timely hits, some good defense, and some big-time clutch pitching. All adds up to a 3-2 D-backs win. They even the series at a game apiece. Up next, it's Jody Jackson, D-backs Live, brought to you by CenturyLink. They hang on and win it 3-2. Much more from San Francisco after this.